Hi, it's Nell, and it is that time of year. It's December 8th, so you know what that means? It is time for a tour of my garden. This is about as personal as I get on my channel, but I just want to show you what I've done throughout the year, or if you're new, show you my garden here in the desert in Tucson, Arizona. It is 3:30 in the afternoon. That's why I have my sunglasses on. So come on, let's take a tour. So this is the second to last video of 2000. Oh my God, it's the quail. It's the second to last video of 2024. There is a blog post that goes along with this. It just has a few pictures. If you watch, the video, you probably don't need to check that out, but you're free to. The link will be down below. And also we have one more video coming in 2023. It is planting my geranium in December, which you will see my geranium in the backyard. Will you kiss me under the mistletoe? I just wanted to show you this to you because this is mistletoe. There are a few different kinds of mistletoe. This is desert mistletoe or mesquite mistletoe. And this is a mesquite tree. Just a little fun fact. So I haven't done much in my front garden because it's pretty much done. It's not on drip. There's a hole here. I planted like a 5-foot Apuntia old Mexico here. And one night the javelina came and chewed it all down. I need a plant with more spines right here. So all I did is I planted one small golden barrel over there by the Soros and a couple of small red hook cactus. That's the only other thing out here. As I said last year, the creosote growing over here. This is creosote here. It's seeded in from the desert out there, and I'm just letting it go for that wild natural look. I have a lot of vegetation surrounding me, so the more the merrier, I say. And one of the things I did in the back garden is I took out the stream bed, the dry stream bed, so we just put a lot more rock along the border here, and there's a lot out by the mailbox too, which we're not going to show you because that's just out there. But why don't you come in the back? But first of all, this is I call this my elephant Soro. So we'll take a look at that because it's like the elephant trunk hanging down there. So now we've just come into the back garden via the side gate, and this is a golden foxtail cactus, which is gorgeous. It's putting out a lot of new growth. It'll do all this crazy stuff. Love this plant. Yeah. And this is my herb and greens bed I have going on here. It sort of changes a little bit seasonally. This red kale, it's going into its 5th reincarnation. I keep on cutting it back and it keeps on coming back, but it's handy to have this out here. In summer, it gets a little stressed, but oh well. And this is my aloe vera that we just repotted about a month and a half ago into a bigger pot. It's much happier here. As you can see, it gives me a lot of aloe vera gel. And a really big thing I did in the backyard here, or I didn't do it, I had done, was the pool deck got resurfaced. It was old cool deck. It was peeling. It had faded to a dull gray color, dull light gray. So now it's textured. It has a little bit of variegation in it, but it just it mimics the desert, the ground out there, so it's all very naturalistic here. I just can't wait till more of these plants grow in and get really green to soften this. But it's a big area, so I just wanted something that looked a little bit nicer and that was more harmonious with the natural surroundings. So here we are on the patio where I spend a lot of time. This is a north-facing patio, which is gold in the desert. It's covered too, so it's a wonderful space even in the summer. And speaking of summer of 2023 was endless. If you lived in the South, you know it was a record-breaking summer for heat. So I had planted quite a few plants out in the garden at the very end of May, early June, and then the heat hit at the end of June, and it was tough. I didn't lose anything, but couple things are looking pretty stressed, which you'll see. But the patio hasn't changed that much. I got a new rug. I had 3 hanging pots here. I took one down to only have 2. Those hanging succulents are in the pot we'll see over there. So I just have these 2 here. So the only change on the patio besides the rug is, I just potted up the geranium a couple of weeks ago. Took the annual vinca out, and the geraniums are fall, winter, spring color here. And I had this Euphorbia trigona over here. I put it in this bigger pot. Took the Hoya out. I don't know if you remember, I had a Hoya on bamboo hoops. It was just too stressed in the heat. It's now inside doing great. And I did this cute little cactus succulent pot over here. And I had my variegated elephant's food hanging in the middle right down here, but it just kind of overpowered it was overpowering the patio. So I moved it over here, and the doves nest in here. So I'm going to, in end of February, take a whole bunch of cuttings here and then put them, root them into this side of the pot, because as you can see, it's doing great, but it's very half-sided. And this is a very popular plant here in the desert. This is Sticks on Fire. It is the Euphorbia. It is a variety of the pencil cactus. Some people think it's the same plant, but this turns in winter. But this is a separate variety, and it's just starting to turn some color because we're finally getting cooler. So it is going to be hopefully orange, have a lot of orange on it very time soon. I have a couple of paper spine cactus plants, and these fall off like crazy. So I have a bunch of the cuttings on the table. Hopefully someone will take them. But I just wanted to point out these 2 basil plants. They actually, I grew them from seed to grow indoors, but I have 2 other basil plants in my kitchen at the moment. So these are just hanging out here until I harvest those, and then these will go inside. So the dry riverbed was here, took it all out, filled it with loam, and planted quite a few plants. I'm not going to go through all of them, but we'll just do a pan of the garden so you can see what's going on. And then I will meet you over at the Meyer lemon tree. So this is the one thing I planted in my garden that takes a little more water. Everything, I'm being very aware of our water shortage here, but I love lemons, love Meyer lemons. So as you can see, it's just a little baby tree. It already has 4 good size, almost ripe lemons on it. So I'm very happy to have this. And I have some golden barrels in my backyard because you can see through my house, the backyard and the front yard at the same time. So it just kind of ties them together, and it just gives it a little color. And they're so beautiful at sunrise and sunset, they almost glow. So this is the area of my garden that's going to get a little love next year. This red bird of paradise was here. I have a feeling it's pretty old. It just hardly flowered this year. So I'm going to do something flowering here, put in a dodonea there to just sort of fill in and do a big pop of green. And this planting under the Palo Verde is also a project for next year. I think I'm going to do giant petalanthus and trailing rosemary in here. And speaking of petalanthus, this is a petalanthus, the lady slipper. It's not a giant, but I'm gonna have Gerardo and the guys separate these 2. This is gonna go in its own pot over in that area we started in. It needs a focal point in a gorgeous talavera pot. This is a talavera pot here, and then the opuntia will stand in this pot alone, you know, with the couple of underplanting plants here. But this one, they deserve to be in their own pot because they're such beautiful plants. As you can tell, I love Petalanthus. And there's two plants here that recently got repotted. The Aeonium is one of them. The cuttings looked really sad. If you watch that video, in 2 months they've come back beautifully, starting to change color a little bit here. So this was on the patio, but it just got so big and it blew over and I lost half of it. So this is what remains of that plant. And then here's the other plant that got repotted. It kept on falling over and it's so heavy I couldn't get it back up by myself, but it is my pencil cactus. I brought this as a cutting when I moved to Tucson from Santa Barbara, and it's gotten ginormous and now it's gonna really take off in this huge pot. But here are the two hanging succulents that were in that third pot on my patio. I told you about the string of bananas and the string of dolphins, so they can fill out in here and sort of soften the pot a little bit. These, by the way, are great resin plastic pots, good and sturdy. And then I did a raised bed under the African sumac here. It's not completed yet. I'm waiting to find some really cool plants for it. So here's the front of the raised bed. It has a start to it. As I said, I'm going to look. This lady, it's either lady finger or lady slipper cactus was in a pot over there, and I put it there. I thought it could just scramble. So as I said, I'm looking for a few really cool plants to go in here. I don't want them too tall because I don't want them to ruin the mountain views, which you will see very soon, or block the view with a pool or any of that stuff. So it's all going to be fairly low in there. So now we have come to my favorite part of the garden, besides the pool and the plants. And well, anyway, I love the mountain views. These are the Catalina Mountains. Here, when the sun sets over there, they change color. It goes all the way down there. I can see them over there from my kitchen garden, and it's just lovely. I can see the palm trees too. So always enjoy seeing them at any time of day. So I thank you for all your likes and your subscribes. I truly appreciate them as we wrap up 2024. I hope you have a wonderful holiday season. All the best to you, and let's get out in our gardens and make our worlds a more beautiful place. Thank you so much for watching. Catch you soon. Bye.